Yeah,
Okay, was any of the others submitted bids?
Everybody submitted.
Everybody.
So we received 5 bids?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And we're happy to also, you know, if we're awarded the project, to come in and show you, so what happens after we get awarded a project, the project team comes in and they take over. Some of our multi-unit residential, they like to have a whole meeting so that people can understand. And they will literally schedule it out for you. They will show you in slides, okay, this week we'll be here, this week we'll be here, this week we'll be here. Now, there's play in that because if you guys are starting to think to do this next, if you do Q1, you're okay. If you push into rainy season, you know, that can affect it. We do not work on the roofs during the, we just, we don't want anybody getting hurt. So if it's raining out, we're off that roof.
And another question, please. In the 5 bids, where do you guys fall in that?
They don't know that. They wouldn't know that.
They don't know that. Okay. Thank you.
We can talk about that separate.
Yeah.
No.
Jordan, A1, 3 or 4, I'm comfortable with planning, but I just wanna make sure from what you said about the budget, because on the last meeting, it was going to be by December, but now with the permit, you said that we have like a little window.
So remember, the budget and the roof project are 2 separate things,
Okay.
right? So the roof project is a special assessment, that's separate. And then for the budget, there was an issue with an operating account deficit that we do have to special assess for. That's what we have to take care of by December. So this is why we are trying to offer the option to stretch this out a little bit further to give you guys space in between the 2 special assessments. Yeah.
Last year's insurance had a lot of reserves and that was really good. We never got the assessment. Correct, there's no assessment.
That would have covered it, right.
We need to borrow the money from another account. So it had to be moved from scratch.
Any other questions for our advanced team? All right.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. If you want to stop sharing, don't.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
Did you get to stop sharing? Or maybe I could stop it. Let me see.
I think when I closed it. Did you say you love your job? You better.
Oh, there you go. I think.
Oh, I'm still sharing?
Yeah, I think so.
How we doing?
I was maybe, basically, all the noises that they get. It's gonna be like, nothing. Everything on the meeting room. I think.
Yeah, I just want, you want to tell them about the special assessment for the operating
There
deficit?
you go.
Yeah, we should just talk about it.
Thank you, everybody online.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you.
I wanted to meet my sister on the when we had talked last.
It's for all of you. Get some pizza, guys. There's pizza at the back.
Solar panels on the roof.
Let me get your.
It's the pizza? Oh, man.
Yes, we were treated to pizza, madam.
Just kidding.
Our solar panels, we would have to have a huge water tank.
It goes to the pool.
Right, but see, they don't circulate, right now your water is circulating up, so those solar panels.
Rain, so we just have to.
Heating up.
Yeah, just how it's gonna unfold.
We'll talk about the HOA every day.
Oh, okay. Budget, yes.
Yeah, we got, oh, okay.
So you would have to have.
Thank you very much. So,
So it'd be a special deal.
It would be extremely expensive for the return. The most efficient unit you have is what you have.
Like, yes, I wanted to ask you.
So I did check.
But we have.
oh, we have a little bit more left in the meeting.
What?
We have a little bit more to go in the meeting. Just a little bit more. You could probably catch him at the microphone's right here. So
I can wait for you.
Yeah.
I can wait. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So,
So, continuing.
yes. We just want to wrap it up really quick.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Good luck, and thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you for the pizza. My son loves it. I'm gonna bring him some. Thank you.
I'm taking some of it.
It smells really good. It smells really good.
All right,
All right, everyone.
so we're continuing.
So we just want to kind of tie it up, wrap it up. We're happy everybody came out tonight. We thank you for your time. So there was just, so that's the roof. And like we said, the board is going through that. They're discussing it, they're weighing it, and then we'll let everybody know timelines a little bit better in the coming days. The only other thing on our agenda tonight, I did put budget update, but really what I wanted to talk about was the special assessment that we briefly spoke about a second ago, which was for the operating account deficit, to replenish the operating account deficit. Remember, we do have to get that taken care of before the end of the year. All right. So I don't know if you guys remember, but that amount was $487,000. Everybody remember that one? Yes. So, in order to, yes?
Special assessment itself is going to be 47.
For the operating account deficit, yes. For the 87,000. It's based on what's on our financials as what is outstanding or not being repaid from what was taken.
If you, hold on, wait, let me read the balance.
No, I know.
You don't have to explain to me how to read the balance.
Okay.
I wasn't.
So that's as of, I think that's as of the latest balance we got some,
Oh, yes, August.
August 31st.
Yes.
Right? And so that balance is going to be considerably lower when we get to January 1st of 25. Right?
The outstanding amount?
Yes.
Oh, how would it be lower?
Yes.
When we had our very first meeting, we tabled the amount that was taken from the account for the insurance.
I'm trying to figure out how we get to 487. I mean, just in broad terms, this is Dave Booth, Essex 204.
Dave Bowie, Essex 204 is on the floor.
So in broad terms, we had, what was the budget for the insurance was 600, 700?
At our budget workshop,
What was the budgeted amount from last year for insurance, for the wind portion of the insurance?
for the property insurance, 572 is what you guys had quoted overall for insurance overall.
So 572,
Mm-hmm.
it came in at 700.
And 17, yeah.
Okay, so that difference is $130,000. How do we get from 130 to 478?
So at the budget work,
We're paying the operating expenses, utilizing reserves since everything was commingled.
everything was commingled into one account, sir. So yes, the insurance was paid for out of that lump sum, but you guys were vastly under budgeted, and some of those monies were also used for regular day-to-day operating expenses. I believe you did bring up the point of what was supposed to be in the reserve. Some was there being held for Middle River Club. Some was there for River Shores. We had all gone through those numbers and we had all agreed that the amount due was 478, 584.39, as it states on the financial due to reserves. That's what's on the financials. Did anyone calculate something different?
So like I said, I'm trying to get from a $150,000 gap for the under budget on insurance. I'm trying to get from there to 480.
You guys budgeted, you budgeted 572 for insurance. You spent 783.
What's the difference?
The operating expenses that you covered,
Versus 572 is like $200,000. What do you get so?
It's okay, let him speak, for heaven's sake.
Crazy.
Because, people are just picking numbers out of the air there.
So we're not picking numbers. I don't know if you guys can hear me. So at the budget workshop, when we went over it, I remember you were there, we actually went over what currently sits in the reserve account based on the audit of 2023. So based on the audit of 2023, there's a certain amount of money that is supposed to be in your reserve account that unfortunately is not there. Right? So that creates the due to from based on what was expensed. So since the reserve account was commingled with your operating, a lot of operating expenses were being paid utilizing reserve funds. The balance of the accounts that we got at transition did not account for the money that you needed to have in reserves in that Truist bank account. The difference is what's being calculated on the due to from on the balance sheet of the financials. So if portion of, let's say 200, just rounding, $200,000 was the under budgeted amount on the insurance, then the rest would be any operating expenses that were paid out of your account that would have utilized those reserve funds. I can't tell you specifically what exact expenses those were because we weren't managing at the time, but
So with all
that
due
would
respect,
make up the difference.
so with all due respect, how can you say that the monies came out of the reserves when the reserve balance hasn't changed?
Because you're according to your financials and your audited financials, you're supposed to have a certain amount of money in reserves. When we took over, the Truist accounts did not have $615,000, meaning that there was money utilized that belonged to the reserve.
Right, because of the fact that we're basically prepaying the insurance premium.
Or part of it was that you prepaid the insurance, correct? That is correct.
Because the difference between what you had in the account and what was paid to make up the difference of the insurance is not equal to what's left in the account. So something extra was spent, you have to replenish that.
I'm sorry, I don't, I'm now having to deal with a $480,000 here on the fly, and I think you're wrong. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, one, it's not on the fly, because when we were at the budget workshop, this was the number stated on the financials. We're looking at those same financials. This is not on the fly. This is the number that's been established.
August 31st balance.
Yes. I'm saying what would change that number, though? Any monies that goes to reserves right now is based on the budget for 2024. This deficit occurred in 23. What would it have to do with monies that's going there based on what the budget says should be going there? Anything that's being added is being added for 2024, not to make up for any unbudgeted or unexpected expense that was just pulled from the reserves. Okay. All right, so we need to make up $478,000 in the operating account deficit to then repay reserves, what we have taken from your reserve account, because we need to make that account right, okay? And you can ask some of your neighbors. Earlier this year when we took over, it did cost a couple of people the sales of their unit, because we did not have reserves holding, so buyers could not get loans. You can ask a couple of your neighbors, that is real. So we do have to build these reserves back up and separate them and manage them better, okay? It's $478. We will have to provide coupons for the special assessment. That's at a cost of $5 a coupon book, 230 units, that's $1,150, $1,150. And then Castle charges a fee because we manage all of this, we collect all these monies, we make sure they go to the proper accounts, and anyone who is not paid up, we also follow up with those individuals. That fee is $23.92. All right, and that brings us to a final total of $482,127. This document will go out to everyone shortly, so you will be able to look at it. It's $482,127 and 31.
Hold on. Nikki, the board needs to pass a motion to pass us to do a special assessment. So that way we can do the 14-day notice for the special assessment. So the board has to have a motion of a consensus.
You can't hear what Nicole's saying. Can we just let her speak? I'm sorry, Nicole, you have to repeat that.
Sorry. So you guys need to pass a motion that you want to move forward with the special assessment so that we can do the 14-day notice for that board meeting where you approve the actual special assessment.
Okay, I make a motion that we go forward with the assessment.
Okay.
Well, we don't have much choice. We have to do it.
We have to.
Okay. Helen, you approve?
Yeah.
Yes, she approved. The next thing is so after this, we go to our client communications department, they'll draft a 14-day notice. We need to pick a date of when the board wants to have that meeting. It needs to be at least 24 days out. So it leaves the meeting somewhere in November, meaning the payment would be due December 1st.
So the meeting would be on November 6th?
14th, like 14th, right?
November 16th?
We can do, hold on, let me look at my calendar. Hold on.
November.
I think I told you the 14th, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thursday the 14th.
Okay, but that day I have a budget meeting. I can do Wednesday the 13th.
Wednesday the 13th?
On me.
Ellen, does that work for you?
Robert?
I'm not going to be available.
Well, you have to, those are HOA rules. Those are the rules. Yeah, more rules.
Helen, November 13th or 14th?
I'm not going to be available. I'm going to be unavailable from November 9th until December 20th.
Okay, Adrian ought to be around.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
For the 13th? Oh, no, Robert, you were saying.
I am not, well, what time are we talking about for this meeting?
It's a Wednesday. We work with the time that works for all of you.
Yeah, no, I have a concert that night. I'm not going to be available for.
What daytime day?
You want to do it the 15th, that Friday?
That would be, yes, that would be a much better option for me.
Frank?
Frank, the 15th?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a wait.
So then, Nikki, so then what I need you to do is submit the statutory form online with that meeting date so that production can get started on it.
Okay, all right, we'll do.
All right.
All right.
I'd like to do everything on the previous issue.
Yes. Board, would you,
Of course.
All right, so now I've got the August 31st here. So you're right, we have an I call it an intercompany account, back on my corporate rates, of 400 and, we'll say 480. 480 between the reserve and the operating. We also have, at August 31st, we have almost $300,000 in cash, right, in the operating account. Okay? So if we were to take that $300,000 in cash and pay off the reserve, that would get us to 180, right? And granted, we would have no cash in the operating account. Right? But I would argue that between August or September 1st and December 31st, which is 4 months, okay, we have a significant amount of cash that's coming into the operating account, okay, that's not going out for expenses. And why is that?
Can I say
And why is that? It's because we've already prepaid our biggest expense, which is the insurance. So for somebody to sit and look at this balance sheet and say that we owe $480,000 to our reserve is just not accurate. And I would suggest that somebody do a little bit more analysis of these numbers before we start making special assessments. Because, I mean, do we have our most recent cash balance at September 30th?
That